For the next 30 days, I'm going to be building a new JavaScript project every single day. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zoe. I'm a software engineer and a former university professor who loves teaching folks how to code. When I was first learning how to code, I wasn't very consistent with my learning practices. I would study a few days here and a few days there. But once I started coding every single day, my learning grew exponentially. And within a year, I had my first full-time job as a software engineer. So we're gonna use the next 30 days as a challenge to level up our skills as software engineers. In this challenge, we're gonna start simple and work our way up in complexity. So let's start with the first project. All right, so as I said, this is gonna be a simple first project, nothing too crazy. What we're gonna do for this project is we are going to build a social links profile. So it's just gonna have the image of the user, and some basic links. Pretty straightforward, but let's get started. So I've gone ahead and spun up an app using Next.js, and if you're interested in following along and working along with me, I'm using the Mux.ts app starter that I have on my GitHub portfolio, and yeah, that's what I'm using. So let me go ahead. I've dropped in the assets that I've downloaded from and I've dropped in the assets that I've downloaded from Frontend Mentor. All the challenges are going to be using. I'm going to be using Frontend Mentor for this challenge, and yeah, you can access and as this is a free challenge, you can access it yourself and do it yourself if you're interested. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, so the first thing I want to do is actually work on this main page, because really we're not going to need that many components for this. So I'm going to take out this typography element, and we're going to start with the larger box, but I'm going to make a smaller box, and this is going to be our actual card. So I could actually make a new file, and I'll call it card. I'm going to make a new folder, actually. Let's make this organized. Components, and then I'm going to create a new file, card.tsx. All right. And cool, we have our new card component. I'm going to use box. Box from Material UI. And yeah, we should be good to go. And then I'm just going to import the card here. So I will use some components. Old habits die hard. All right, so we'll save that. And now we have our card on our page. So if we check it out here, element type is invalid. Why is the element type invalid? Seems to be compiling. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm importing it incorrectly. It's importing the card from Material UI. I needed to import card from the components folder. Import card from component/card. Okay, good. There we go. So we have our card. So one thing you'll notice with the design is that, and I can actually pull up the design in Figma here. I've downloaded that file. Yeah, one thing you notice, it's very centered on the page, and we have this black background. So I'm gonna grab this color fill right here, gray. Let's see what hex that is. There we go, 1414. And I'm going to make that the background color. So I'll say background color is that with a little hash. All right, cool. And it's showing up for just a portion of what we have there. So actually what I probably want to do is get rid of all this CSS. Okay, cool. There we go. I just want to say HTML. We'll do the background color to be that. All right, awesome. So now everything is that color. Perfect. What else do we have in our design? We have some white here for the text. For the most part, the text is going to be white, just standard white. So we'll say color is going to be white. And what else? We have this green color. I'm going to call it neon. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to just make a class and call it neon. And I'll just add that class to whatever we're adding that to. So I'll say color is this. Okay, cool. What else do I need here? I think we should be about good. Oh, you know what? One thing, forgot this gray color. So let me grab that. I'm going to create another class, and I'm going to call it card background. And we're going to say background color is going to be this. I like to try and set up my classes ahead of time so that it's a lot easier when I actually go to build out the project. Because when I start building it out, I just want it to be super quick. And then we're grabbing this class. So this is going to be the link background. Let's say background color is this. Okay, cool. So now we have most of our colors, if not all of our colors, set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to build out this like larger card. So I guess one thing I want to do here is I want to center it on the page. So I'm gonna say display flex, flex direction, or no, justify content, center, and align items also to the center. We'll save that. Awesome. And I think one thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to give this a class name. I'm going to try and use a little bit more CSS in this this tutorial just because I don't usually use CSS that often. But I'm going to give this a class name of, let's call it container. Container. All right, cool. And then I'm going to add that to my globals, and I'm going to say container. I'm going to say height is 100 view height, and width is going to be 100 view width. Awesome. It is creating a little bit of overlap there, so we're going to say overflow hidden. See if that fixes it. No. Take a look at what I'm doing wrong here. Let's try 99s. I think there's some like default. Oh, you know what it is? There's padding and margin built in. I think I took out that padding 0, margin 0. Nope, not that. All right, we're just gonna change this to 99 and 99. Let's see if that fixes the issue. 98 and 98. Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, I don't usually use this much, just normal CSS, but we're gonna try something different today. All right, cool. So we have our card. It's centered on the page. Now we need to start building it. So let's go ahead and look at our design. So we have this sort of larger placeholder card. So let's go ahead and build that. So we'll say that's going to be this box right here that is holding our card. And we're going to say, we're going to use a class name. And we're going to say this is, what did I call it? Card background. And that's going to be the background of that. You'll see already, it's really hard to see, but it has changed its background color. All right, so the next thing we want to do is fill out all of this stuff here. So we're going to need the image. Oh, sorry, and we need to do the border radius. So it looks like it does have a bit of a border radius and some padding. So we'll say padding equals, let's say, 2 rem. Okay, and then we'll say border radius is, let's do 2 rem as well. Maybe not so much. Let's do 0.5 rem. Yeah, a little bit closer. Maybe 7.5 rem. All right, moving on. Let's now add in this image. So this is going to be the profile picture for the person whose account this is. And we have all of our assets in our public folder. So if I go into images, I should be able to grab the relative path and use it in a next image component. So let's say image from next image. Believe we're going to use source equals that source that I grabbed just there. I don't think you need to do public. I think you can just do that. And then we're going to say height. Height, what are they looking for? Oh, no, alt, sorry. Alt equals profile image. that should work. And then we need, I think it does need a height and a width. So we'll say height equals, what do we have in our design here? 88. 88, oops, 88. And width equals 8. Perfect. So we have that. Failed to parse. Oh, I think it doesn't need the dot. Okay, awesome. So we have our picture. The last thing I want to do is just add in some styling there. And because this is a Next component, not a Material UI component, I have to use style instead of SX. So I'm going to say the style, I'm going to say border radius is going to be 50%. I'm going to save that. And awesome. That's looked pretty decent, like pretty much what the design is calling for. So let's move on. Next thing we want is this title. So it's going to be size 36. That's going to be our font size there. So I'm going to add in a typography element below. Say typography. And then we can add in a variant if we want. We can say variant equals H1, but I'm going to style it anyway. So I'm going to say the font size, I want it to be 2.25 rem? Let's see if I guesstimated that. Whoops. Guesstimate. Yes, 2.25 rem, so 36 pixels. And oh, yeah, because I am doing this as a non-client component, I need to directly import all of these. Cool, so there we have that. And then it's going to say Jessica Randall. And that's going to be our person. Okay, and that actually looks pretty decent. I think the because it's in H1, you know, it's already nicely formatted, so I think we can leave that as it is. And then this is going to be the location, and we're going to just do another typography element down below, typography. You can do a variant again. We'll say maybe H2, and I'm going to say size is going to be 21 pixels. So I'm going to say equals font size. I'm going to say 21 pixels, and then we'll convert that to rem. Cool. I wasn't even going to try and figure out the exact one for that. And then we're going to say the class name is going to be neon. So that it gives it that color. And awesome. That's looking pretty good. I think we need to make it bold. So I'll say font weight is going to be probably about 600. Yeah, not too bad. Let's move on. Then we need this like sort of description here. And I'm just going to use the default variant for this, and I'm just going to drop that in there. I will, however, grab the actual font size, 21 as well, so we can borrow this part of it, just a piece of it. We'll take out the font weight there, as it is not as important, not as prevalent. I'm going to take out the double quotes there. I think I'm going to just replace them with single quotes. No, we gotta escape them. Let's Google this. How to escape quotes. Backslash. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But it doesn't seem to like that. How to write quotes in JS. Quotes in string. Exactly. That's what we need. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. JavaScript quotes with strings. And I know this is like part of the challenge, which is why it makes it a little bit more interesting. I thought you could just, is it I or something? How do we do this? Maybe if I wrap it in something and then no? All right, we'll leave it alone for now, but we can come back and fix that in a minute. And then the last thing we're going to need are these links. So I'm actually going to create one more component. I'm going to say new file link.tsx. And for this link, we're going to use a box again for Material UI. And we'll say box, save that. And then what we're going to do is on the card page, I'm going to create an array. We're going to say links. And then it's going to be an array of objects. So the first part of the object is going to be the link title, and that's going to be, let's say, GitHub. And then it's going to be the link itself. So we're going to say https://github.com. And then it would be whatever her username is. So that's the format we're going to use for these links, so that we can just copy and paste them a few times. And it would be useful if I put commas in between so we don't get some errors. Don't think we need this many links. All right, actually my 5. Front-end mentor, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. So we'll say front-end mentor, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And then for these, we're just gonna change these to be front-end mentor, LinkedIn, and of course you would fill this in with your actual information, Twitter, and Instagram. This is really actually a little great project if you just want to kind of get started with a portfolio, but you don't want to do the whole situation. Could be a good option. So now that we've created this links component and we've created this links array, I'm going to map through the links array. I'm going to say links.map. I'm going to say for each link, I want to return a link from ./link with the link is going to be the link, if I haven't used the word link enough. And the key is going to be link title, because that should be unique. Or we can do link.link. That would also be unique. But anyhow, it's going to give me an error because I haven't told link that it needs to accept links. So we're going to tell it to accept that. And then we are going to give it a type of this. So I'm going to say interface props, link props. I'm going to start with link title, which is going to be a string. And then we're going to do link, which is also going to be a string. I'm going to save that. So then link is going to have the type of link props. And there we go, solved our errors. Now I am doing this in TypeScript, but again, you could do this in JavaScript. As we know, TypeScript is just a superset of JavaScript. So just FYI on that one. All right, so then now for the link, I want to actually use these colors. So let's start with the background color here. We'll say, what do we call this? Link background. So I'm going to say, oops, why am I getting an error here? Link is outside the type string. Links.map for each link. Why is it? Why is it expecting type string? Or maybe I need to say, oh, it's because I used the word link too many times. Let's say link data. And link data. Or do I need to actually just wrap it? I think I need to wrap it. Wrap these, I should say. All right, cool. That'll also make things a little less complicated for me. All right, cool. So fix that error. And then now we need to do our styling. So let's say class name is going to be equal to link background. Yep. And then we want to add in some padding and things like that. So let's see. 127-ish. 90-ish. All right, so let's add maybe 90 pixels of padding on the side there. So say padding, let's say 90 pixels. So that's going to be our left, right. And then top bottom is going to be 12 pixels. So we'll say, perfect. All right, cool. So now we have our padding and then we'll have our link. So now for our link, we want to display, we want it to be a link. So we're going to import link from, we have to import it as something else. So import link from next link as next link. So I need to give it a different name so there's not that naming conflict. Import link as next link from next link. Module next. Okay, let's try this again. Import link from next link. Cool. As next link. Can we not do that? Naming conflicts. JS. Import naming conflicts JS. Right. Import that as that from that. Okay. I guess it just doesn't like that. It doesn't like that concept because that's the exact concept we're trying to use. Okay. What I will do instead, I'm just gonna call this custom link and scope it here as custom link, and then we'll just leave that as link from next link. Cool. So then it won't matter in the other file because we've already established that the name of it is link. And it'll just import whatever that thing is as whatever name we tell it to import. So we're good to go in that sense. And then I'm gonna use the link now that we've imported. And it's going to have the link title, link data dot link title as the title of the link. And then the href is going to be the link data, link data dot link. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to say target equals underscore blank so that it opens up in a new window and we don't sort of lose the portfolio page. Because it's like, if I had a portfolio page and I want people to look at all my links, I don't want them to keep having to navigate back and forth. Like they might end up losing the page kind of thing. So we have that. We have our padding. What else are we missing here? That might be it. I think we need to do our spacing and things like that. So let's take a look at how it's looking on our app. All right, not too bad, not great, not terrible. Let's fix it up a little bit. All right, so first things first, I want to just deal with all the spacing. Everything's kind of like spaced super all over the place. So let's start from the top level. Let's start with a card. We're gonna say display flex, flex direction, column, and save that. And then we're gonna say align, no, justify content, center. I'm gonna save that. And align item center. Great. Cool, cool, cool. So we'll do that. And then we need to add in some spacing. I think that's also part of the issue. So this has 24 pixels of spacing on the bottom. So we can say, we can add 24 on the bottom. That's probably a good move. We'll say margin bottom, 1.5 rem. And then for the text, for this text, I'm gonna add, doesn't seem like there's much, but I think there's a little bit of spacing there. So let's add margin bottom here, at least 4 rem. I'm sorry, at least 4 pixels. Let's say 1 rem. Yeah, 0.25 rem. And then for this one here, this is where it says London, we're gonna say, oh yeah, it's a good amount of space there. 24 pixels, so we'll say 1.5 rem. So that's looking decent-ish. I think we could add a little bit more padding to the, sorry, a little bit more margin to that title. And then we have some margin here, again, of 1.5 rem. I could have done like top and bottom for just one of them, but at this point I'm being consistent about something, so we'll try it. Okay, cool, and that looks pretty good. So the card itself, I think, is pretty decently sorted out. The next thing I want to deal with is, oh, actually, sorry, one last thing. For these links, I might be able to actually sort it on the link. Let's see. So for each link, I want the width to be, not Windows, width to be 100%. Oh, okay, no. Let's be a little bit more specific. Let's say, let's give it a number. 304. Let's give it 304. 19 RAM. Oh, that seems a little bit wide. I mean, and again, you can modify this to like suit whatever you're trying to achieve. It says it's 304. It seems a little wide on my screen. Personally, I think I'm going to go with like a 16. Even a 14. Just seems to fit a little bit better with my style. But again, modify it to make yourself happy. Or to make the designer happy if you're working for somebody specific. So do whatever makes sense. But no. So then we have that. Now we have our links that are in the middle. So I'm going to say for these, I'm going to say display flex, justify content is going to be center, align items is also going to be center. So that's just going to center the text for these. We are also going to give it a color of white. It did override it with our text decoration. I'm going to say text decoration none. Oh, it's really like serious about this. Oh, you know what? I think I have to put on the link. My bad. Style. Okay, awesome. And then we'll say, what else do we need to say here? I think it's a little bit bolded, so we might give it a little bit of a font weight. We'll say font weight of maybe 600. Cool. And then now for the spacing between the links, I'm going to say margin of, what do we have there? 1 rem. Margin top bottom of 1 rem. Maybe even half a rem because they're going to sort of share it. Okay, cool. That looks pretty decent. I'm going to add to the border radius so that we're consistent. I'm going to say, what had we said for the card? Whatever that is. That's what I want it to be. 0.75 rem. I'm going to save that. Cool. And yeah, that's looking pretty decent. I think we pretty much have what we need for this thing. The only last piece I might add, let's see if it'll let me do this, and hover, color, let's try something just so we can see it. I don't think it'll let me do it. But what if if I add a class name, name link, and I'm just actually gonna copy, I'm gonna cut all of this. We're gonna create a class, and then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna add all of these in, and then text decoration, font weight, cool. And then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna give it a hover. So I'm gonna say dot link hover. I'm going to say color is going to be, let's use that neon color. Give it that vibe. We're going to use that color. And we actually don't need all of these quotes because we moved it out of our file there. So now, it is not hovering. Oh, you know what? I think I need to save this. Oh, and I need to, remove that there. Okay. And awesome. Now when we hover, we're getting these little green situations. If you check in the corner, you can see that you can actually get the correct links for each of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's it. We finished our first JavaScript project of our 30-day challenge. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to follow along with the rest of the challenge. And I'll leave a link to the playlist up here so you can see the rest of the videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.